listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Yo, what up, rebels? We're back again. I hope you are ready. It's going down. Guess what? It seems weird because guess what? There's the preseason is like happening. Or is this the tip-off? This is the original. We got NBA basketball back? I'm confused. What time of year is it? Wait, did we have a break from sports? Football's still going, kinda. I'm lost, but I'm enjoying it. We'll take what we can get, and hopefully this show won't be Rona, but you already know. So we got pick'ems, a lot of good stuff. We're going to have some fun. I hope you guys are ready. Text line's available. We'll get into all that here in a minute. So without further ado, let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back for another edition of DSR2 on a glorious evening here in the day. Near 50 until like Christmas when the bottom drops out.
I know, yeah, right?
On a high of 25, wind chill in the teens. Bullshit.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
On there. So we got lots to talk about. We're going to have a little bit of watch it with us on there. We got the Celtics and going playing there, and so we'll get into that. Also, we got NFL action going on there. We also got, we know who's going to be in the NCAA football playoffs there. A lot of controversy. Not really. It's
a dumb moment.
Also, we got a little bit of NBA action on that as well. The NHL have agreed to a 56-game season and all new divisions there. And you're only going to play within your division to kind of retain somewhat of a bubble.
Yes, I like the idea of the whole division aspect of it. I just don't know how they're going to handle these Canadian teams and how this is going to play out.
Well, the Canadian teams only play the Canadian teams.
I get that, but I don't see how how this is going to. So then, what do you do when it comes playoff time?
I think they're kind of hoping that time is the vaccinations are in fact there, and we'll see what the numbers dictate.
I mean, you are, I'm all for the tightrope act, but I'm like also all for having a net. Okay, now the net doesn't have to be in the camera shot, but it should be there, and I just feel like they're running this tightrope without a net, and we know it because we've seen it. Like we've seen it with every sport. Like the NHL and the NBA were the only ones that got it right, and I know the NBA they're going to do the same kind of thing. They're going to be looser about this whole scenario, but I'm concerned because I just don't see, even though the vaccination's kind of rolling out, I don't see it taking good hold until spring into summer.
Right.
And so, meanwhile, we're just kind of like hoping that we're gonna. I don't know if that's I like hope as a. I like hope. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an anti-hope person. I just don't think it should be a strategy. Especially not a health strategy. So, a little disconcerting there, and we're seeing it. There's no way that they're going to get this tournament, this NCAA basketball thing under control for a tournament if they don't push it away, if they don't push it off a little bit.
No, you've already seen various teams have gone to the kind of a protocol. Like Gonzaga took 4 games off and just shut things down for a while.
I mean,
Chicago State has shut down the season altogether. They said we're done.
I'm sorry, but college football has been an unmitigated disaster.
Right.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, whatever you guys have, you want to angle it. It's been an unmitigated disaster, in my opinion. And I don't know how you can continue to kind of run things like this way. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully they just back that off. I would rather, instead of trying to steamroll through it and having a scenario like college football, you've got four games in, 10 games in, 6 games in. Guys in protocol like crazy. I don't want that for college basketball this year. Like it got shut the fuck down last year. So how about we just pump the brakes and bump this thing out and do what's responsible. You can have your cake and eat it too in this scenario with the NCAA tournament and everything because of the timing. You can push this thing off feasibly without it being a huge mess, and then actually maybe start getting people in the stadiums by the time you get to tournament time. If you make it, May Madness or something like that, maybe you can have a 10% or something in the thing, and you can, but like right now, you can't. And college football has proven that, and college basketball I think would be even harder to contain.
Yeah, I'm with. Really on that because again the football is turned, as we said, is on there again. How many COVID cases out there? How many games are canceled and so forth? That college basketball has already had 200 games so far postponed or canceled already.
Right.
With it, and I don't see how. Again, and as we said, is of all people, Rick Pitino personally thinks he's a scumbag, but he came up with probably the most common sense, logical position.
Sure.
Push it back
Just
to May.
It. Yep.
Don't start till the end of January. Just sit tight. I mean, again, what do you under you? Again, really is what are they going to compete against under?
Right.
Hockey's not starting till after the new year, so even 56 games, they're not going to really be starting their playoffs till the end of May.
Do you think hockey fans are the college?
No,
do you think that's really a crossover?
Just us, one
right. Just
but even basketball is not going to have their playoffs go until the end of May anyway.
Sure.
So I think the smart thing is end of April, beginning of May, you go with that. Go with May, as we said, May Madness on there. I think this is the smartest thing to do on there because we look on there and especially some of these areas out there where it's out of control. And again, we see with the NFL, Lions go play Tennessee, where Nashville, one of the hot spots out there, and 2 of the guys have been exposed to COVID.
Yeah.
Now their game may get bumped from Saturday to Monday.
It's so out of hand. I don't know. So it's all over the place, man. And I get it. You're trying to get things back to normal a little bit, I think, but it's even harder with college. There's just so much going on in that scenario, and it's just, to me, why not just wait, man? You're going to get that money. You're going to get the TV contracts. You're going to get the time. They're going to make it work for you. Networks are, having the same issues. I mean, they need programming regardless. So, I can't think of any reason other than I need my money now, like that you can't put that one off. Now, when it comes to college football, and I understand why they did what they did because there was no, unless you're doing spring ball, there was no change in course other than shutting it down. So I get why they're like, oh, we got to make this happen because I got to get paid. But, let's not pretend like it's anything less than that. That it's anything other than that, actually. Yeah. And so, I don't know. It's been utterly disappointing.
Well, we're seeing that, too, with a lot of these teams, college teams out there basically saying, you know what, unless you're in a New York Six Bowl, no, we're not going.
Yeah, right.
Why? It's not worth on there because literally is at worst is you got 85 kids going with you. If you're a big power program under, you got like 110 kids out there because you got 85 scholarships and all the walk-ons under, and then coaches and everything out there.
Yeah,
you're basically exposing 500 people. That's minimum.
Yeah.
Just to start.
So I just think they just hold it off. We've got other stuff going on. As sports fans, we can bite into some of the professional stuff. I want to know how the NFL is going to make it through. You know what I'm saying? How they're going to get through this playoff situation if they don't come up with some kind of semi-bubble. And we'll get into our pick'ems and we'll break down the NFL here as well, guys. But I mean, it's just going to be a continued thing. Now they kind of sweep a lot of that stuff under the. You know what? Who's super thankful for the Corona year? Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's playing football, and we haven't said his name at all.
Yeah, and he got a touchdown. Last week
too. Yeah. So, I mean...
They'll have a touchdown this week, too, because they're playing the Lions.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. No doubt. So...
Talk about if one person under it ought to get down on his knees and kiss Brady's ass is Antonio Brown.
Yes.
Because he got him a job.
Yep. Yeah, he brought his career back. Because he was from death. His career, he committed career suicide.
Right.
And that dude came down like an angel from heavens. Oh, come live on the TB12 compound.
And I will get you.
And I will correct your soul. I mean, I don't know.
He is really a golden god.
Yeah. I don't know. Either that or he's, Constantine. I don't know. But interesting scenario with that. But hey, like I said, man, with a year like this, no one's talking about him. And you notice we have not talked about any off the field issues with any of these players, really.
Because they really haven't had it because they can't go
They can't
anywhere.
fucking go anywhere. They can't do
The only
anything.
ones that have some off field issues. And again, here's a shocker. And who's now back, not able to play? Josh Gordon.
He will always be burning holes through cups.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to say. He's got the Ricky Williams thing.
Yes. But they're not testing anymore, remember?
Well, then what the hell did he get hit up for this
Who
time?
knows what he's doing now? He's probably walked in there. He probably walked into Peter thing with a blunt in his mouth. Who knows, knowing Josh. We're not going to test for it, but
You can't.
I know it's legal in the state, but you still just can't walk into Peter.
Yes. Well, it's the same thing. Like, if you were drinking alcohol, you can't just come in all hammered.
Walk in with
a fucking
freaking
bottle
red
of-
Solo cup
yeah.
there full of...
He's got his fucking whatever he drinks, his Hennessy. It's not going to happen.
So we're getting there. Basically, winners and losers. Winners, no, well, actually, not the Jets. Even winning, they lost.
Yeah, even when you win, they lose. Yep.
It is typical.
Yep.
What a JETS Jets move.
Even when you
have
win,
the first
you lose.
pick overall locked up, and you go ahead and win.
Yep.
I'm surprised they even allowed Adam Gase back on the damn plane to fly home.
Dude, what are you talking about? They're going to take it out on the special teams coach or whatever.
That's the Lions.
No, but no, it's going to happen. Like, they're going to. I know that's what the Lions did. They're going to take it out on somebody else.
The only reason they had Adam Gase there because, oh my God, he's going to stay here, and you know he's going to lose. He's just that bad.
But then he's not even. But he isn't. He is that bad.
He
He's
is
so
that
bad
but
that
he's
he
so-
messed that up.
I told you, man. He went.
But the team around it, it's a better team. At least I know you went on your whole rant about them being worse than the 0-16 Lions, but when they were, and I wish I would have wrote down the numbers and stuff like that. They put a graphic up of them in the Cleveland Browns that went 0-16,
better than the Lions.
and they were all better than the Lions.
That
Statistically, they were all better than the
Statistically,
Lions.
that offense is the worst offense in NFL history.
The Lions, yeah, it was absolutely
Lions had
terrible.
the worst defense in the Lions history.
So it was it was bad. Yeah. So they had all the reason. They had all that stuff up there, and they were
And he goes ahead.
the Jets. The Jets were actually the best of the three, and so the win was kind of like analytically, a matter of time. It was just where was the victory they were going to get, and so they get the only difference would be they had one less game within one score, but they have a victory now. So
yeah,
so
they're
then
not just
that-
a 1 in 15 team.
yeah, but once again, the Jags. Hey, man, now the Jags just don't mess it
Jags
up.
were basically, it was.
Don't mess this up, Jags.
Oh, trust me.
You need
They
to
were
lose
They
out.
were looking at tape like, oh my God, we only got one win. We can't win. What are we going to do? We're playing Baltimore. Don't bring the punter.
You don't. Yeah, we'll just forget people at the airport and shit. That's what we're gonna do. That's our strategy.
Who's going to punt? I don't know. We're not going to. We're just going to go for it. So they end up losing 40-18.
We're just gonna start making up fucking reasons like, yeah, you're in COVID protocol. Well, why? You've been exposed to somebody. I have been. Yeah, yes, you have. 10 days. Go sit down.
And this week, they're saying, oh yeah, they're number one. their top running back, which is getting having a really nice year, that James Robinson. You're hurt,
Yeah.
You're not playing this week.
Yes.
So they're like going, no, we're not going to blow this.
Yeah,
We
so
are going to do whatever
we
we
are
have
not
to.
taking
We're
any
not telling the
chances.
players not to win,
Yes.
but we're going to make it. You know what? You're really good. You can stay home.
Yeah, you might break one here today because they have bad run
you got
defense.
COVID.
You've got to stay home.
You got COVID.
Yeah, you might accidentally like.
Well, I like to see the results.
Succeed.
See, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You got COVID.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
But it's in crayon. It says, I got COVID. Written by
Yeah,
the
it's on a napkin. It was written in crayon.
Oh,
The D's backwards on COVID.
So we got that. But yeah, Chargers take care of the Raiders. On there, there it is you see right in that game, especially at the end, Herbert's got it.
Oh, we talked about it before.
And we knew
yeah,
that. We said it
sure,
like, dude,
sure.
he's got. You look
Same
on
with
there.
Burrows.
But
yeah,
when he basically
Yeah.
says, "I'm not good. I'm not going to be stopped. I'm going to get this touchdown and win this
Yeah.
freaking game."
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it. That's why people have been comparing this class to what was it, the '83 class, but
83 class was.
but there's no that the jury's still out on that. Let's pump the brakes there. If Mahomes was a year later, it was in that
2
class,
years, yeah, well,
or 2 late years or whatever it was. If he was in that class, then you'd have a conversation there.
You've got 2 really good
But-
quarterbacks out of that class with him and Watson.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this we'll see what happens. But this does look like a nice year on there. Burrow showed flashes like, yep, he's.
I just hope
legit
the
down there.
injury isn't going to be.
Herbert is Herbert looks better than I ever thought he would be coming out of college.
Well, and that's the whole thing. We had a chance to take that route. If you're a Lions fan, are you sitting here with Stafford going, it's not like they're going to build anything, but the
Tua
whole
is showing some progression too and flashes where he's
sure,
getting better at that.
sure.
But yeah,
my
no,
problem with Tua is he's
Slightly
careless. He's careless with the ball.
Right.
I still feel he doesn't. His ball security issues are what's going to hold him back at some point. And then, and just like, I like Kyler Murray, but I think, his ability to, read defensive coverages and confuse them with different things, he doesn't quite have that yet. If he develops that, then that dude will be super dangerous. You can critique a lot of these young quarterbacks. They just gotta, play to their strengths, so
And
to
also,
speak.
totally
so.
forgot.
But we got a lot of good ones.
Justin Hurt taken in the second round. Now,
Oh,
next
yeah.
time you going,
Yeah.
right? The first game, okay, and I know we'll see it.
Yeah.
Second game, he looked
Sure.
poised. I mean,
Yeah.
he stuck in that pocket too, where he can still break one under. Again, we'll get
So
to the games on
that's
there.
that's the thing. You got a lot of good over the last few years. We've gotten a lot of good quarter. We've gotten a reload of QB talent
Yes.
over the last few years. So, as far as I'm concerned, you can break it down by this class, that class, or the other class. But if you look the last 3 or 4 years, you have brought in a lot of good talent. The Mariotas and that aside, what's his name? A couple of them, but who's the guy that went to
Goff.
Johnny? What's his name? And Goff, yeah,
Jeff Rosen,
yeah,
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel, yeah. So you have a few in there, but
Yeah, it seems like the kids that are coming out, especially the last last 4 years. So
right.
the busts have been less on there, especially the kids that you think, okay, what they're gonna do on there. Yeah, you got a Rosen out there. There was a bust on there, but then you also had, a lot of other kids. But Arizona knew right off the bat, this cat ain't gonna do it. We're not gonna wait.
Right.
And goes with
Sure.
Kyler Murray.
Sure.
And they get the right on there.
Well, and sometimes you gotta know, you gotta pull the trigger. It's like the Dwayne Haskins thing, or some of these other guys.
Haskins gonna get it. He's got all the physical tools.
Right.
But he's got a nickel head.
Yep. Well, it's the same thing with Winston, right? He can't read coverages. He throws everything to double coverage, and
But it's also a lot of the off the field BS too.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
on there. It's basically on
Yeah.
there. Yeah, you throw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, but you also threw 30 picks.
Yeah, right. So it's so you get them, So, but like I said, we're kind of getting that reload where all these guys that we've seen retire, all these greats that have retired over the last 5 or 6 years, they're all being replaced without issue, and Herbert's one of them for sure. So as we get rolling, you're going to get a lot of NFL in. Anything you guys want to talk about, though, is available to you. We're on Facebook, YouTube, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, whatever. There's chat room, social media. We're trying to hang and get with everybody. Season's greetings from Florida. Merry Christmas from Canada. Jay, D, Mike, thanks for getting with us. You guys can also hit us up in our chat room, 313-307-5340. You can direct the conversation anywhere you want to go, guys. This is your cruise ship. We're just kind of turning the wheel for you. So
I'm Isaac the bartender.
Yes. Just hit us up. The chat. The social media is kind of hard for me to keep up. I do the best I can, but the text line, I always get you. So 313-307-5340 is another great option. Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you guys are well, healthy, and getting a chance to be with your family, even if it's in small chunks and or video or whatever you guys are doing. Some people are everybody's getting tested, and if you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
That's what I just got tested, and then I've been quarantined since testing. And
I was tested, had positive, did my quarantine, didn't get the tested for the antibodies yet, but I probably should. But again, I wore a mask, and I
still, shit still happens.
But we'll see what happens. Now they're saying this could be also the severity of it is are you vitamin D deficient?
Yeah.
Which, thank God, I'm old. I take.
Well, now, so I saw from multiple reputable sites about COVID that scientists are now looking into cannabis as potential preventer of COVID-19.
Oh,
and I was exposed recently via work, and I got put in protocol, and the only reason that we're here now is obviously my test came back negative and everything's good to go. But I think if that tends to be true, like, I will never catch COVID ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
how many things that they're finding out that
cannabis, whether it's CBD or whatever. I mean,
CBD.
I think that's what they think it's going to be too. Is CBD is like the way that they're looking at it. You're talking about a vitamin D deficiency, dude. A vitamin D deficiency is always an issue, right?
Yeah.
You want to keep that in line for flus and colds and all that stuff. So, like, when I went in for my test, you don't get just a COVID test. They have for both the influenza strains that are out this year, and for that. And so I'm clear on everything. But they test for all that stuff. And so if vitamin C and D are crucial to maintaining your immune system. So for the two, because like right now they're testing for 2 different flu strains at the same time right now, because that's how the flu gets us, right?
Right.
That's why the flu shot only works sometimes and all that other nonsense.
Right. They have to guess on what strains can be previlent that year.
Right.
And do they always get it right? No.
And
do
then
they get it wrong a lot? Yeah. But.
And then they give you, and then you get.
You still may get it. The only thing is, I remember going a couple years ago with a really bad strain out there where people are hospitalized, and they says this.
Oh, sure.
Even if you get the shot, you still may get it. The only difference is not getting shot versus getting shot is
it won't be so
staying
bad.
home and going to the hospital.
Right.
So, this is the first year I got it, and hopefully I don't get the flu. I had the COVID, and again, knock on wood, it was felt like mild bronchitis.
Right. See,
but I got lucky. I admit. I got lucky.
Yeah, no, a lot of people, didn't get so lucky, and I've seen a lot of people that are. So we've got
chief of police here, Benny Napoleon.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. He was in there for quite a while too, and 1 minute you think he's gonna pull out, the next minute gone, done, game over.
Yeah.
So you got to take this stuff seriously, and that's why it dominates the headlines in sports too, and we don't want to. Totally.
As we said, this has been a sucky year, and again, we also lost NFL Hall of Famer Kevin Green. 3 years older than me, age 58.
Yeah. My buddy, and I call him my buddy not because like we hung out all the time, but they were so super cool to us. And you hear Doc Ice from Houdini in the intro. He does the station ID, and he says, "Hey, this is Doc Eyes," and he does all that stuff for the station. So we're friends with Houdini, and today we lost our buddy Ecstasy, John
Right.
Fletcher, passed away, and they haven't said. I haven't talked to anybody. I saw the article, so I didn't even. It's not like anybody called me to tell me, but I'll reach out to Jaleel and Doc, and see what happened later. I'll give it some time, but it's just been one of those years. My grandma passed, my mother-in-law passed. It's I've lost just last week a friend of mine passed away that I used to part of our little Caesars crew, our little clique. Our friend Jimmy that used to host the show, he knows her as well. So it's, and then lost a couple of friends earlier in the early COVID. So this has been, and then of course the endless celebrities and stuff that it seems like we get every year is added to it. This has been one of the more morbid and macabre years of my life, in just the everyday dealings and how you deal with stuff, whether it be, our family's been more diligent about, post life scenarios, like taking care of everything, and you know what I mean, and having those conversations, and how it's just been. I remember at one point, because things were so unrest with the social unrest and the virus and work and all that stuff, I turned to my daughter and said, "Hey, you want to drive up 200 miles to our other place and get all the guns and bring them back?" Okay. Because they were talking about locking down the state and shutting stuff down, and police stations were getting infiltrated with COVID, and people were, you had social unrest everywhere, and people were going nuts. I'm thinking, I took all my guns up north to hunt and shoot and do stuff up there. I don't have any home protection here. And to turn to your kid and go, "Hey, we've got to go on a 200-mile mission to go procure self-defense weaponry for the house," is an unusual conversation to have. Granted, she's not a child, but it's still, it's been a wild year for everybody. And so, we'll probably get into it a little bit more next week, because that'll be our year end, and we'll kind of dive into what this year has been for us and for everybody else. And we may be a little bit less sports, but still sports, because we're going to talk about all the stuff, and like we do in our year end next week with the sports stuff. But this year has affected a lot of people, and I think it'd be therapeutic for all of us to kind of just let it go, let it all out. So we'll talk a little bit more as this show goes on, but next week be ready to have therapy. It'll be a good woo-saw.
Yes. Time for your Harold Howard Beale moment.
Yeah, right.
On it. So we got here on the games there. Chargers took care of the Raiders in overtime. Was a pretty fun game on there. Carr got injured with a groin injury, and of course every male in America went, "Ah!" On there, and Marcus Mariota came and actually played a pretty good game out there. But again, Chargers prevail on that one as well. Panthers lose to the Packers, which could be described as kind of game. It's not, you just on there. So we got on that. Bills took care of the Broncos. I mean, they hammered them.
Dude, the only real topic of conversation that I really caught, and there's a couple others, but the big one from this weekend is just the Steelers' fucking downfall. We'll get into it. Go ahead, keep running. Yeah, keep running.
Bills are actually defense looking now. They
they're looking good,
and they're back in line.
Yep.
Offense is looking great.
Sure.
On that, with it. Also, we got Monday. That was the Browns and was the Browns Giants on there. That was Sunday night. Browns took care of them.
Yep.
Cleveland's looking good. I mean, again, it was the Giants and everything with it, but the defense and the offense. I mean, again, they run the ball.
Yeah.
They wear you down. Nick
Sure.
Chubb, in by the fourth quarter, just
Sure.
wears you down, and with it on there. So we'll on there. Chiefs took care of the Saints there. Basically, it was a game of two halves there. First half, Drew Brees looked terrible.
Yeah.
Second half, he did look a little better. They made a game of it on there. On that.
Yeah, It's just one of those things, man. You
Chiefs
had
played
his
down
whole
there,
body.
down there.
He might as well got run over by a dump truck. I mean,
Yes.
his whole body was
Every time
crushed.
he's getting hit, I'm like,
I know. It's like, oh, I can't watch this anymore. He's yeah. Every time they get near him, I'm like, oh my goodness. And I don't care. You could put that flak jacket and all that shit on, dude. And no, dude, that just holds you from exploding like a finishing move from Mortal Kombat. I mean, that doesn't save you from fucking being hurt.
Finish him.
Yeah, it just saves you from being blown into bone bits and just blown everywhere all over the field like fucking, debris.
and we have already said is Jets upset the Rams.
Dude, everybody on the Rams, y'all need to look at yourselves in the mirror
They
the
walked
next
in and
day.
said, "We got this. It's the Jets. Screw it. I ain't practicing. We're just gonna
Dude, when they all come in like all half on the bag, going, "Hey, it's all right. We can beat them. It'll be good." I mean, dude, that was terrible. That was pretty bad. And you know what? You don't ever want to be that team, right?
Right.
Nobody ever wants to be that team.
I was joking on Facebook too. I said this: Jets better get down there and offer freaking Adam Gase a $5 million bonus to blow this game because he's going to screw up their first pick. Whoop, guess not. The only reason, again, why are you keeping him now? You've already lost on the first pick. Screw it. You're fired.
Yeah.
Why are you fired? Because you won a game.
Yeah. But then, you've seen it time and time again. Then you'll fuck up and win 2 games now.
Then they'll lose that pick, too.
Because they'll win another game because the team will rally around the assistant just because the other guy. It'll be addition by subtraction, and they'll accidentally win a second game. So,
you know what I see happen?
Go in there and berate him in front of everybody and make that locker room a bigger mess. Just walk right in there in front of all the players and go, "Look, you sack of shit. You were supposed to fucking lose. I've been making you bench these guys. Fuck out of here. What are you looking at? You want to be on the team? You'll be gone tomorrow." And just be a total clown. Fuck this show up. You might as well take some cameras in there, and it can be like Hard Knocks YouTube channel or some shit, and you can just put it on there. I don't care at this point. Just motherfucking entertain me and blow this mother up.
You know what I see is?
Sorry.
I saw Monday morning, Sam Darnold walking by general manager and owner saying, "Fuck you! Gonna lose and draft my replacement? Eat my dick!"
Yes. Watch them all go out there and just win. Just win,
They're gonna
baby.
draft my replacement? Fuck them!
It's going to be like Wild Thing's going to come out of the fucking, out of the dugout type scenario.
Just like the Green Bay Packers.
And they're just going to come back and they're going to come back and win every game.
Packers draft my replacement? Fuck it. He ain't getting on the field. I'm going to play out of my mind. Frick. On it. Game of the day, Eagles Cardinals. What a great game on that. Was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was a fun game.
2 quarterbacks that were playing out of their minds.
It was a good game. Yep.
It was a fun game to watch.
Well, Hurt's nice because what you've been getting out of Goff has been so bad.
Wentz.
Or Wentz, I'm sorry, yes. What you've been getting out of Wentz has been so bad. And so it's kind of just refreshing to see a little bit. They don't have... Wentz is a statuesque kind of a guy back there. He's more of a Ben Roethlisberger kind of standing in the pocket kind of.
He's big, but he can move, but he doesn't.
And
he's not as athletic as.
Yeah, and when they get any kind of pressure on him, and he needs he needs too much time. He needs to get rid of that ball faster and things of that nature. And I mean, I don't know how you fix him, but this is definitely a different look and a different feel, and seems to fit the style of the team a little bit better.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, having a leadership quality will override a lot of your deficiencies, and then lack thereof will also override some of the things that you do well. So, for instance, as Wentz, you can't sit there and openly say that you're mad about the way they fucking handled you and you're starting, and you need to be a starter, and wah, because they fucking overpaid your motherfucking ass. They overcommitted to you when you fucking produced, and then you still underproduced.
You regressed even worse.
Yeah, even worse. And then you forced their hand, and then when that did happen, because they gave you way more leash than they should have, the dude's successful, and then you're going to be mad about the way they handled it for you, and you should be a starter, my motherfucking ass. Dude, that is the most... Dude, you lost. You have to be traded. Right. You are never playing for that squad again.
No.
You lost that locker room, dude. You lost that locker room. You're done. And that's no matter how bad or good Hurts is compared to Wentz, no matter how good Wentz improves or he gets it back or whatever, none of that will ever fucking matter now because you planted that fucking seed in that fucking locker room. You're done. You're done. You committed suicide, career suicide when it comes to being in that locker room. You're done. You are done. And that shit happened. Yeah. That's real. That isn't something I just threw out of thin air. That's something that he fucking did. And guess what Hurts doesn't do? He don't do shit like that. He puts his fucking head down and he works. And then he fucking, and he's patting guys on the butt and that are knocking him on his ass, and he's durable and he's playing and he's balling out and he's saying the right things when he's supposed to.
Yeah, we saw that too even in college when he got benched at the national championship game at halftime for Tua.
Right.
And what did he pout in honor?
Right.
No.
Nope.
He was his biggest supporter out there, and again, he sat the bench under the whole next year.
Yep.
But when Tua got hurt and they needed him to come into the semifinals, who was there?
Yep. So
that's again, there's a guy on there that's got that locker room with it.
Yep.
And again, it's a good story because he's a good guy.
Yep. I don't know how many people get into that or understand that, but for sure. Mike says, you still got me. Thanks, Canada Mike. Appreciate you. Gays can't even do anything. Yeah, okay. Well, thanks. Jason Jason was in on the gays conversation, too.
See?
Oh, yeah, dude, I'm with you. We're talking about it. I'm with you, Jason.
And I got into a Twitter war, and they kept arguing well, the players are playing the win on there. And then, well, how do you build this franchise? You think tanking? Well, I'm like, well, look at Miami. They tanked, and they got Tua.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, well, they won 5 games. I'm like, well, they built a better team. I'm like, oh, they built a better team. They fired Adam Gase. That's why they got better.
That is absolutely true.
And who took him to Jets and look what them? I go, Jesus Christ, he makes Rich Kotite look like Bill Parcells. That's how terrible of a coach he is.
Well, in Miami, Miami was just a dumpster fire. Was Tannehill there with Gase?
Tannehill was there with Gase. On there, Gase somehow never liked Tannehill whatsoever.
And Tannehill didn't have a good run there, but damn, I bet he likes Gase now that he got him out of there.
Tannehill's problem is he plays
he
balls
got
out,
and
he got hurt. Because when Mike Sherman was the coach there, he was at Texas A&M. You could see it. Okay, Tannehill, man. Tannehill had some man. I like him, but he was like that. The avious Jim Edmonds with the Cardinals. Play balls out, get hurt on there because he played again like it was like the last 2 minutes of the Super Bowl on there. And that's what Tannehill is. And again, we'll talk about Tannehill, how he's in a perfect scenario on there in just a few here. But yeah, I think it's a great analogy with that.
Well, and Jason's all over it. Yeah, he's all over it.
So we got the Cardinals in on there. And again, Larry Fitzgerald makes still a sick freaking reception for a touchdown. Reaching over in the corner, knows he's in the corner, gets his feet down, and falls down, falls on his ass on there, all inbounds. He's going, dude, he's still it, man.
Yeah.
He's still got. And then again, you look at another one by Hopkins. I don't know if there's ever been a receiving tandem that got those good of hands for 2 guys because they don't seem to drop anything with it. On that. Frisco loses to the Cowboys there, and it turned out to be a pretty crazy game, back and forth and everything with that.
Yeah, who would have thought that? Who would have thought, what was the over-under on that game? Who would have thought it would have been like 74 or whatever the hell that game turned out to be?
Tony Pollard subs in for Zeke. Zeke is hurt. Pollard goes off, man, gets a couple touchdowns on there.
Right.
Again, gets like 70 yards rushing, 60 yards receiving on there. Zeke might be out. He's had a terrible year. He's now banged up and everything with it. He's had a huge fumbling problem.
What do you do with him right now anyway? To me,
because you're stuck in a bad contract.
Well, it's not even about that. You bring him back next year, because of the contract, if nothing else.
Yes. Now you
But
know
my whole point is why put him out there? I mean, if you're ultimately, whether you're going to keep him and hope he turns it back around and gets back to the old feed me Zeke, or you trade him, what is the benefit of putting him out there on the field right now?
Yeah.
So
the rest of this year is
to me, I don't put him out there on the field anyway.
He doesn't play this year.
Right.
Just go with what you got.
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb gets a touchdown on a onside kick attempt.
Yes.
I don't know why we don't see that on there. Put your fastest receiver basically on there and go, that ball hops, grab it, run.
Right.
That's what he did. He just like caught it right as he's running inside, just like boom.
Yeah, but the thing is like to have it fall that perfect. It's that whole lightning in a bottle scenario. Like that's what they try to do every time, Moose. Every team, every time that tries that shit tries to do that.
Tries to get
it
that
just
guy.
happens 1 in 100,000 fucking tries, because it's not that easy. It's not that easy. It's like Johnny, I know when you were a kid, you could kind of like throw the ball and you could get ahead of it a little bit and catch your own pass, and you thought it was really far, but it wasn't really that far, Moose. Like you can't really throw it 50 yards and then run down there and catch it. Like after you squared up and threw it, you can't really do that. And so yeah, this is one of those scenarios where like things kind of happen, but it's like it is. It's like a 1 in a million shot.
It doesn't happen all, but it was fun to watch.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what you got. That's the great thing about sports. That's what makes it entertaining.
Seattle beats out the Washington football team out there, and again, thank God that game wasn't on TV because. I have a feeling it was just dreadful.
Yeah, I had it. I just didn't watch it.
Colts take care of the Texans on there, which turned out to be a pretty good game. They got on that one. Buccaneers, Falcons. Buccaneers spotted the Falcons 17 points.
And the Falcons did the Falcons.
Basically, all they know basically is they need Matt. They need Matt Ryan to walk out and go, Tom Brady, my daddy, because he's your daddy.
It's the Falcons being the Falcons.
There's a player out there that's your daddy.
Oh no.
Tom Brady's your daddy.
Do you want me to make a shirt, Tom Brady's your daddy, and then send it to him? I got a T-shirt press over here.
Send it over to Tom.
Send it to Matt Ryan for Christmas. TB12's your daddy.
Titans beat the Lions on there. Again, pretty much what we expected out there. Right. Stafford goes out there. Why was he out there?
I don't.
There? But again, you can't argue the guy is freaking tough as freaking nails.
Yeah.
He had a good game.
Yeah.
He was making throws. He's going, how the hell is he making them throw, man? And that's got to hurt on every movement he makes.
See, that's
dude. I know you. Again,
they ruin that poor guy. They do everybody. Like they do everybody that has any kind of talent. They just destroy them. They just chew them up and spit them out. You know what the Detroit Lions are to good players? They're a fucking succubus.
Yes,
they're the succubus to any
suck
good
the
fucking
soul right out of you.
Out of any good player, they will absolutely. They're absolutely a succubus to any good player.
And again,
it's the craziest thing.
Let him win a Super Bowl because the right scenario, he'll win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, if he's on the right team, he's got the skill set to do it for sure. He's got this is the whole thing. Like he's got the leadership skills, he's got the durability, he's got the toughness, and he can make all the throws, and he's got as many come from behinds as anybody that I can think of in recent history. The only thing you have to worry about is what does he do against elite level defenses. He hasn't performed well, but he's not, other than when he had Calvin, he had a weapon, but he didn't have all the weapons.
No.
So if he gets into a place where he's got all the weapons around him, like these teams that are winning championships, then yes, he absolutely can win a championship. Sure, absolutely.
Because again, he can arm quality on there. He's still probably the top three.
Well, I mean, he could throw at all these different angles. Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess you can make that argument. I mean, as a sleeper pick,
I'm talking about
I'd put him in the top 5.
I'm not talking
sure.
the head and the under.
Sure, I'd probably put him in top 5, but you can make that argument. You can lean that in there. But yeah, I think he does. He's a top 5 arm talent as far as he can make all the throws. He can throw at different angles. He could throw on the move a little bit. He's not as crazy as like Mahomes and some of these other guys, obviously. But yeah, sure, I'll definitely go with you on that. And that's what I said. But like he has to land on a team what team is a quarterback away from beating you know, Pittsburgh. Well, Pittsburgh's
Indy.
on the slide, but do you think Indy's a quarterback away really from beating KC? I mean, they're the closest, maybe,
They're the
but
closest.
yeah, but
They've got nice receivers. They've got a great running game. They've got a good defense. They have a fantastic offensive line.
so
KC's just got every offensive weapon.
they got
known
too
to
many
man.
weapons. Sure.
I mean, they're the best. I mean, you look on and you go, holy crap. I mean, we'll even talk about the 99 Rams, the fastest show on turf. Dude, this KC team's better than them.
Oh, I believe so.
Not even close.
I believe so too.
And as much as we like
Sure.
Kurt Warner and Falk and all that, but
Yeah.
Mahomes is better than Warner. Kelsey's a freak.
Right.
Tyreek Hill, yeah, good luck trying to cover him. And then you got Hardman, and you've got Watkins, and now they got Le'Veon Bell coming off the bench there. Now he's going to be the principal while Hilaire's hurt. Yeah, they got everything.
Yeah, it's a wealth of riches. It's not even fair. And then
And you've got
one of the best coaches,
best offensive minds
Yeah.
in the history of football with Andy Reid.
Yeah, it's like not
Andy
fair.
Reid's way better than frickin' Mike Martzwet for what?
Oh, sure,
Because
yeah.
he's done it over and over in different styles. He's
Yeah,
just
with
done
different.
everything.
Yeah, well, I was about to say he is a flex style coach, so he has an idea, kind of a scheme. He's got things that he wants to do, but
He knows to tweak it for the
Yeah,
personnel that
exactly. He
has.
absolutely
some
does
of these
that. And
play
he-
callings that they're doing this year with that team, dude, that's sick. You can't cover them.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, imagine
they're
going
I think they're almost like they're bored with whoever they're playing with.
right.
And then basically when they lost that early game to the Raiders, like, wait a second.
Well, we talked about it. They do that. They play down to their competition and stuff like that.
when they motivate, like, no, we want to bury somebody, they go out and bury you.
It's all about I think when they're all on point, they're just so loaded, like we talked about. But they're beatable and all that. It's just like you said, if you're getting down to the nitty gritty and they got everybody playing, like who you gonna bet against? It sure isn't gonna be that KC. So and then I just don't know who. I mean, if you put Stafford on Indy, do they all of a sudden compete in that realm there?
I mean,
I don't
Rivers
know.
is having a nice year, but he doesn't
Yeah.
have the arm and everything with it.
Sure.
So I think they may be one of those
Sure.
teams out there.
It would definitely be an improvement to have
Yeah.
Stafford over
And
Rivers,
if you went
but
to the Bears, it'd be a huge improvement over Trubisky.
sure.
But I mean, I think those are the two teams out there. I mean, yeah, if he was with Dallas instead of Andy Dalton, they'd be a lot better off. But again, not that much because I think their window's closed because the offensive lines got old,
Right.
beat up.
Well, they'd be able to win that shitty division, but then after
They
that, it'd
can't
be
go
all
up there.
done.
They had their chance and they screwed it up.
Yep. Yeah,
On-
no, but if Stafford was over there earlier, they could have won that division because it was.
So
just
who's
'cause it
not
was
going to
that
screw
bad.
it up on there? The Jaguars, because they're going to do whatever they have to keep that number one pick on there.
I think they are too.
lose. They lose to the Ravens out there. And here's the kicker: they didn't bring up punter. They're like, no, stay home.
Yeah,
What are you going to do? Go for it.
we're just gonna go for it every fourth down.
Well, your place kicker can punt. No, he can't. He's never punted in his life.
Yeah.
No, we're not going for it.
Yeah,
we're
we're
going for
not
it.
gonna do it. Can't you do like a drop kick? No, we're not gonna do that either.
They lose 40-14, and it wasn't even that close.
It's
Yeah, I mean, the Baltimore didn't have a ton of yards on there because they didn't have to go a lot of yards to get a touchdown. They had like this short field every possession.
if ownership comes to you and says, "Okay, look, I don't want you to throw games and all that stuff, but if like you lose here on out, we're not going to hold it against you. Like
You're still going to be fired, but we're going to give you a bonus.
we you know say we're gonna do this, that, and the other. You're still gone, whatever the case may be. Blah blah blah." And he's like, "All right, shoot." But I mean, yeah, that's if you know you're gone regardless, and you have a little bit of I don't know, carefreeness to what you're doing. There's something to be said about that. So whatever, you do some crazy shit if you know you're going to be gone, and in a weird way, it benefits the team in the end. You know, if you're being a good soldier on the way out, like you said, maybe they're like I said. I think someone just said, "Hey, do all that crazy shit on the way out. Do the craziest thing you ever wanted to try doing in professional football. Go ahead. We won't hold it against you at all."
Yep.
So
we got that.
that's what it feels like.
Bears beat the Vikings, so technically they're still alive. Vikings are toast on there, and which was pretty wild game in that. And again, just happened to be his cousins became cousins in the fourth. How many times they were like in there and he just couldn't get on the like deep in the red zone. And he just couldn't get it into the end zone there. I'm like, why didn't you just hand the ball off to frickin' Dalvin Cook or just do a swing out? Nope, get sacked for 9.
And
it'd be out of it'd be in long field goal position.
I
or
know.
something like that. With it, and again, Trubisky's not that good on there.
No, Trubisky's
David Montgomery
terrible.
had a great game. That's really what did it for him on that one. But yeah, Minnesota's. They've got some good young talent. The problem is because it's not the answer there, because they'll always make a big mistake, and the defense has gotten basically it's terrible.
Yeah.
Zimmer might be gone. I think they'll probably give him another year because of COVID, but I mean, it's not getting it done.
Well, it's one of those things where the coaching carousel is going to be interesting this year, and so you got to make it. You got to evaluate at the end of the season a lot of these guys.
Do you want to go and try to get into a bidding war?
Yeah,
with all
you
these cats out
right,
there?
or you're going to
On
ride
there,
out
and
this
then you pick the wrong
contract
guy
maybe
and
another
you're
year,
screwed.
right?
Well, just
But on top of buying a guy out, I mean, none of these coaches walk away without buyouts.
no. Well, their contracts are all guaranteed.
Yeah.
I mean, and well, down there is like as bad as the Raiders have been lately out there, and it's maybe it's not working for Gruden fully out there. He signed a 10-year deal.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
$100 million, 10 years, fully guaranteed,
Yeah.
and part ownership.
Yep. Yeah, he ain't going anywhere.
No, you're stuck with him.
Yeah. And if he's in on ownership,
Unless the crypt keeper himself comes out of the grave there and kills his son and Gruden, you're stuck with him.
Yep.
Prince Value with that frickin' bowl haircut there.
Oh man, that's gonna be rough if this all falls. When we talked about it on the show when he got that goddamn contract, it just didn't make it. Excuse my French. It just didn't make any sense.
No.
It didn't. You don't give a guy like that a 10-year contract worth that kind of money with that ownership anchor on it. And basically now, how can you even if you decide you wanted to buy him out of the last 3 or 4 years of his contract, which is still a long-ass time to have him if he shits the bed, how are you going to do that?
Right.
How are you going to do that? He's got that ownership anchor.
Right.
Tied to his
stuck
ankle.
With him sitting in the suite next to you.
Yeah. It's like...
You think he's not going to show up? Oh, let me there.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Just staring at you with that Chucky face.
Oh, my goodness. What a mess. So, yeah, but that's a whole other story.
Yep.
If they win, it's a great thing.
It's a great scenario, but again, on there. So,
You know.
I mean, there's only one coach I give it 10 years. Or again, I wouldn't even give Belichick because he'd be like 100 years old then. I know. Speaking of Belichick and the Patriots, they end up losing the Dolphins.
They've been
22 to
statistically
20.
eliminated from the playoffs.
Yes. First time since 08. But they're not going 11-5. They're not going 8-8 this year either.
All right.
On there. This team's, I mean, it's not a good team there. And again, off the 6-0 game till halftime. I mean, in the second half, it was all Dolphins there with it. And the Dolphins pretty much just played smash mouth. Basically, smack you in the mouth. And like I think, again, I like what the Dolphins done. I like what Brian Flores is doing with this team. Wise on there.
Absolutely.
General manager, again, dude. Yeah, fleeced freaking Houston. I mean, you're going to be getting first-round draft picks till the end of time.
Houston fleeced Houston. Let's not get this fucking twisted, okay? He was the lucky recipient. The Houston's so dumb, they thought they were fleecing somebody that was dumber than him, and he was like, oh, dude. All right, I'll take the freebie. I'll take the gimmies, you fucking dumbass. It was like it's like what Dombrowski did to Miami.
Yeah.
For Detroit when he was here, and basically everywhere he went. I mean, that's a different sport, but everywhere he went.
Oh yeah, Houston. We'll go ahead and take that JD Martinez off your hands.
Yeah. Exactly. So he did it everywhere he went too. But that's an example. That's the same kind of thing, right? Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I think it's receptive to that on there. So we'll go into there with it. Steelers losing to the Bengals. Steelers got beat up by the Bengals.
Dude, no, this is the problem. It's not that they got beat up by the Bengals because that's not who they are per se. It's the fact that they haven't played good football in a month.
No, they've played.
They eked out that last victory, and they've shit the bed 3 weeks in a row.
Right.
And they haven't been right since the whole COVID shift.
No.
When that shit with Baltimore and moving the games happened, dude, they barely eked out the Baltimore game when they finally got the damn thing in. And they played like shit then, and they've played like shit since the whole thing. That disrupted the entire, like, bullet train that was the Steelers up to that point.
Well, yeah, offensive, they've just been absolutely terrible. Defensive-wise, I can understand defense because you lose your heart and soul with the defense when your two middle linebackers both go down with Bud Dupree and Devin Bush. But, I mean, the offensively, they look dreadful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
This is Cincy you're playing. Man, you should be just gunning it and destroying them, and they couldn't get anything done.
Right. No, I know. And it's just...
They keep it up. I mean, again, they don't have the number one. They're on the verge of losing that division.
Well, it's one of those things where if you back into the playoffs, like that's not going to work. I mean, that's not going to work. I mean, and then what do you think you're going to do? You backed into the playoffs, and you think that you're going to all of a sudden turn it around in time to beat a quality team when you're getting smoked by teams like Cincy. I mean, I don't know what they need to do.
And they don't have an easy game this week coming up. And last week of the season, they played Cleveland.
Yeah, so they got 2 weeks
Cleveland's
left.
Been playing even in the loss of Baltimore, they played some good ball.
Sure. Who do they got this week? Well, we got Pick'ems, but who do they got this week?
Yeah, Pittsburgh's got Indy.
Yeah, no, yeah. Do you have Indy and Cleveland, right, back to back?
Yeah.
Is that what they got? Is it where we right? We got 2 weeks left. Whew.
At home against Indy and at Cleveland for getting the last game of the season.
They could easily lose out.
Yeah.
Man, that is not good.
You go 11-0 and you go basically 11-5. And that means they could be a one and done. They'd be getting the playoffs and lose.
Yeah. That'd be a mess to go 11-0 and then lose 6 straight games and get bumped in the first round. Whew. Well, we'll be ripping into that. I'll have to get the Tomlin sound bites together if that happens.
But yeah, Derrick Henry laid down another man. I'm going to embarrass you on national TV with that straight. I'm going out of bounds. I don't care.
Well, we first hour we covered a lot, guys. The NHL Canadian schedule is bullshit. We didn't get into the schedule. We were talking a little bit about that. We were talking.
All right, Canada, I can tell you how you really feel.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you knew who it was. So we got. There's plenty to get into. We're doing a little watch it with us NBA basketball, Milwaukee Boston 4-point game, a little back and forth action there, and anything you guys want to get into. We got the social media going: YouTube, Facebook, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Spreaker. Also, Studio57Radio.com. You can hit us up on our text line 313-307-5340, or in any of those chat rooms, or the old school Studio57Radio@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you, Mike, Lewis, Jason, Darwin, Jay, everybody that's been getting in already. We appreciate you. We are going to get into more college football, right? We got we got that laid out for the Final Four. We got our pick'ems, we got fantasy, we got all that stuff. But I got a parched throat and an empty glass, and I'm on a little mini vacation, so it's break time. You ready?
DSR2 Super the radio.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. Listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air, and now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your Old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate Tire. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
Everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's the Lodge Service Drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you love and life, you need to be in the club.
Taking over the broadcast for the Ultimate Underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the Ultimate Underground, live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say, infamous venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390 or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. We get what you want because we got what you need. Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want because we got what you need. Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
All right, Rebels, we are back for part 2, hour 2 of this crazy thing that we call DSR2. Watch it with us. A little, every time Boston starts to take a lead, Milwaukee kind of scratches their way back in their little Eastern Conference NBA going on. Watch it with us if you'd like. We've been having some fun. I hope you guys are ready. Appreciate everybody that's been getting in on this thing, man. I appreciate all of y'all. We're having a good time. I hope you guys are ready for Christmas and all fired up, ready to go. Next week's episode is going to be on Tilt. We'll talk about that. We got pick'ems. We got a fantasy moment and a little bit of college and, whatever you want to get into, of course. This is your show, baby. Let's do this thing. So, without further ado, let's get to hour 2 of DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here for the second hour of DSR2 for our Christmas show, where I'll reflect and feel joy to the world and peace on earth, good Lord, so man. Fuck that. Man, I'm happy. A couple guys got fired.
Oh, shit.
One, I'm real happy at. They need to fire 2 more, and I'll be ecstatic on there. University of Michigan has fired Don Brown. Thank God. No Dr. Blitz anymore. Jesus Christ. He'll learn to play his zone coverage and he wouldn't get blown out all the time by Ohio State.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, and he did so much to help recruiting, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's so many problems with Michigan.
They need to get rid of everybody here, to be honest. So we got that. Scott Linehan, former Lions assistant coordinator, got fired after 1 year at LSU. So, and then Bo Pelini got fired as the defensive coordinator as well. So,
nice.
Dude, you had almost your whole team go to the NFL on there, and the guys that stayed opted out. So, what did you expect this year?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what anybody expects, but I expected to get involved in the show. Facebook, YouTube, they got chat rooms. You can get in on it. We can have a conversation. We're on TuneIn, Stitcher, and Spreaker as well. You can go to Studio57Radio.com, check us out, and you can hit us up on the text line, 313-307-5340. Like I said earlier, hey, this is your show, guys. We're just kind of making the engine turn, so you tell us where to go. Of course, we're going to get in our Moose is going to the fantasy moment is more of a I think this is more of a self-indulgent moment at this point, Moose, because there's not a whole lot.
I wasn't even mentioning this week here. If you're in the championship game, you kind of know what you're doing. So
yeah, I was about to say
you mentioned it this week.
This week will be the closeout.
Trust your guys out there. You're already there on that.
There we go.
Deal with it.
I was about to
If
say
you're
this.
really having out that you're thinking too much.
I was about to say this should be the shortest fantasy moment, the final one of the year.
We don't have one because you should know by now.
Okay, cool. I was hoping that's the way you would play it when we got there, and it would be really quick, and I was going to do it at
didn't
the
even
end.
put it into
But
the
you
notes
you just killed it before we got there, so that's even better. So I appreciate
I didn't even
that.
put it in the notes because I'm like going.
Why?
And if you don't play your championship until next week on there, you need to punch your commissioner right in the throat.
Well, it's one of those
And
things,
quit.
and like you said, if and when we did the fantasy stuff before, I'd always do this too, the same thing. Okay, if you're in the playoffs or doing anything, I'm not giving you any advice other than to do not get in your own head. Period. Don't get in your own head. Play the smart play, and don't overthink it. And you're done. You're good. You got there for a reason.
Yes.
And that's how we always used to close our fantasy season. Back in the day. This show's been running for 14 fucking years. It feels like.
Yep.
It's been damn near that, really.
Trace who you got
So,
there and go
yep,
with it.
and just do
If
it.
you have two guys that are comparable, then you just say, okay, match up.
Right.
And again, who to pick up? No, you don't need to be picking.
No, well, it's at
anybody.
the and Moose, you're at that point where it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's what are you gonna do?
Unless you want to cock block the other guy from getting a quarterback because he's got Derek Carr and he's out on there and grab Hurts, then be a cock blocker.
Right.
But it doesn't help you because you're going with who you got. Mm-hmm. Don't think too much now.
Yep. Nope.
You're
That's
gonna
all
get into
done.
your own head and fuck everything up.
All right. So college football, we got our Final Four.
Yeah. Ohio State did not play all that great against Northwestern. On it.
To me, all that stuff's kind of to be expected a little bit. To me, I felt.
You know why? Getting on there and too. Now you see who's getting a lot of love out there as a possible jumping up to the NFL is Pat Fitzgerald.
Oh, sure.
Dude's smarter than hell. I mean, again, he's a great. Again, unless he goes to pros, he's never leaving Northwestern.
Yeah, I know.
He's a lifer.
Yep. No, Northwestern's a pretty good team. They're not as good as Ohio
And
State,
then Notre
obviously.
Dame,
but
you are who we thought you were.
yeah.
Yeah, you beat Clemson, but you really didn't beat Clemson.
Yeah.
You needed overtime to beat Clemson without the quarterback.
Exactly.
On that. And again, Bama took care of business like always. And then for all you clowns whining, oh, A&M belonging there. No, they didn't. Remember when you played Alabama the last time? You lost by 4 touchdowns.
I'm not.
Yeah, and you want to play them again? Really? You want to play them? Because you know what's going to happen. They're going to put up a 60 burger on you.
Well, this is the whole thing. So you have the have and the have-nots, right? We've always we've established that last week, if not long before. And so in a COVID year, it's going to stand out even more because this is a team that doesn't need the preparation and the practices and the run-throughs and all that stuff because as much as some of these other teams. And so it stands out even more so. So like you said, Moose, you put it together and it's going to be a 64-14 game. It doesn't make any fucking sense right now in this year. So, but it's the same shit. Flip the script. I mean, fucking Dabo can't shut his dumbass lips.
Right.
Shut
the fuck up.
I mean, that guy's an idiot. You're going to say that Ohio State's number 11 in the country? What the fuck are you smoking, dude?
Yeah, and you got to play them. You don't think Ryan Day's
Dude,
gonna use that?
we are Michigan fans here. We really make no bones about it. We don't make excuses for Michigan, as you can tell this season with the way we've been dealing with the whole fucking Harbaugh fucking move. But whatever. I will be rooting for Ohio State.
I hate Ohio State with the utmost passion, but I want them to kick the shit out of Dabo.
I hope they use that for the chip on the shoulder that they need to destroy these cats. If that's what it takes, whatever, that would be amazing. So, I don't know that I would necessarily pick them, obviously, but
I can't do that because of like my soul burn eternal damnation.
right. But if it happens, I'm gonna be fucking fist bumping and jumping around in the living room like an idiot. And I'd be like, ha, 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 ha. And the show after is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
2 weeks from tonight.
I'm going to go in this. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to eviscerate that guy for as long as I have breath.
Right.
I mean, I will destroy that guy if he gets beat by Ohio State.
Yes. But again, the key is to There's Bama and there's everybody else this year.
Bam, dude. Like I just said, the rich just seem to be richer because they're ready to roll, and these obstacles aren't as big of a deterrent or setback to them as they are to other teams. We're seeing the same thing in the pros. Those teams that have had an established roster and a game plan and a coaching and a staff and players already. Those are the teams that are playing well. Those are the teams that are thriving. The teams that are bringing in new players, new coaches, new personnel, new whatever, they're the ones that are fucking struggling.
I mean, Bama lost their quarterback, their top 3 receivers, all to the first round, and they just said, next line up.
Right.
Here it is.
Sure.
We're going to repeat the same thing. 3 receivers going to the first round, and their quarterback is going to be probably a top 10 pick.
All right.
And now looking out with Najee Harris. And that defense is a lot better than it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bama and everybody. Again,
Right.
Dabo can say all he wants is, even if they do beat Ohio State, I want Bama to kick the living shit out of them.
Well,
because even
right.
freaking Saban took protocol and sat home and let Sarkisian call the game.
Sure.
And of course, they didn't even lose a step there.
No, right.
With that.
Well, no, because he knew where to go and what they were going to do along the way, and if anything got out of whack, you don't think that there was a text or something that got somewhere.
A phone call coming
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, there was a communication if they needed one. I don't care what anybody says. I could shoot you a text and no one would know.
And again, all the bowl games on there, they're going to be canceled, guys, teams pulling out and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And
the bowl season's going to be it's already a dumpster fire.
Indiana goes 6-1 out there, and they can't get a New Year's Day bowl on there. Again, Army goes 9-2. They can't get one because, again, they got to take somebody that's got 3 losses and add them again.
Shit,
Right.
It's so arbitrary and so dumb.
On there. Yeah, Indiana on there is probably not going to be the draw, and they're not going to be as good because Pennick basically blew out both knees.
Well,
and that's what sucks is because Indiana's a really good team.
Okay, so if you're going to treat this like it's super fight season, then let's really treat it like it's super fight season.
Right.
You know, if you're not going to put them together based on like record, if you're going to look at matchups of what you want to see together, then fucking let's not like dip our toe in that shit. Let's just get balls deep in this motherfucker. Let's just do it. Let's just say, okay, well, outside of our top 4, all I want is the baddest ass matchup I can come up with. I don't care what conference. I don't care the wins or losses. I just want to know what team, what matchup would be that fantasy matchup.
Right.
And let's just do it that way then. And to me, that's the future of it anyway, right? Let's go to 8 teams, and then you can take.
Of all years, this is the year to try the 8.
Yes, well, yes. Ideally, you do the 8 teams, and then you can have that kind of more of a fucking scenario. But and then you can do let's do super fights here. But and even if you wanted to continue to have the lesser bowl games, you could still do the super fight style there, and no one would care. But like the arbitrary kind of way that they pick these things and do stuff, it's not transparent, it's not clear, it's not consistent, and once again, it doesn't. In the end, I guess it doesn't ever really matter because you only have so many teams that are. You only have 4, and it's just going to be the same 4 until somehow the athletic department completely crumbles.
Until they do something on there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly
seriously.
it. Because, and again, Urban Meyer had a story on there, and it was a great. He basically said the same thing. The rich get richer.
Yep.
He goes, you look at the 3 teams: Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State. Have pretty much 2 of those 3 teams have been in every playoff since.
Sure.
And then we got on there, and you see the occasional guys pop up in that, but it's still the same 3 pretty much every year net with it. And I agree with it. It doesn't help the other teams out there. It doesn't help the smaller teams out there to have a chance. And again, Cincinnati goes undefeated. And
to me, it's not even about the smaller teams because even with 8 teams, if you're outside the Power 5 conference.
How the committee works. Oh, we do eye tests. Oh, strength and schedule, and it's every week it's something different.
All right.
You know,
it's like hitting a moving target.
You got it right all along. Was the BCS with their algorithm?
Right.
It wasn't basically. Oh, we're going to use it. We're just strictly using statistics and algorithms and analytics, and that's how we're going to figure it out.
Right.
We're not going to basically say, oh, we're going to give that because, oh, we like that team and so forth with it on there. And they had it all like, here it is. Here's what the BCS figured out. And all right, those are the 4 best teams.
Well, and that's what's so fucking funny, because you're in a situation where everybody was so mad at the BCS because it used analytics and certain algorithms to kind of figure out the way what should be what, and people got mad about that and said no. Common sense says, and the computer doesn't know, is just crunching numbers and common sense and the eye test and all those things that you talked about. So you just can't ever win when it comes to that.
The BCS was only to get us 1 versus 2.
Right.
So it wasn't say, oh, what about 3 and 4? No, it was to give us 1 versus 2.
Right.
And most of the time it got it right.
Yeah, I would say usually it was all right, sure.
Now, again, what happens on there, we did have some great games, and we had some blowouts. But again, Oklahoma versus USC that year, nobody was beating USC yet. But they got it right when it was USC and Texas, which was probably the greatest damn college game I've ever saw. But then again, you had a player who was so much better than everybody else out there that year, and that was Vince Young in that game.
Right.
He was the best player in the damn country that game.
This is my take on it, and I guess, we're going to end up getting to probably an 8-game playoff, and it'll kind of go that route. But really, for me, I would prefer, if you're not going to do like a legitimate, well-thought-out, well-planned playoff system where it's not so, one-sided as far as the rich get richer and that whole scenario, then I want to go back to the bowl system. But instead of, algorithms, or instead of eye tests, or instead of any of that shit, let's just put on super fights. What would be this year? What would be the best matchups?
Right.
And then geographically go, okay, well, these guys would match up, so geographically we'll throw them in this bowl. And then these guys would be amazing to watch, and geographically, because they're kind of in this area, we'll put them in that bowl. And let's just do it that way. And let's just, if you're not going to correct it, then at least make it where we know it will be entertaining.
Right.
Where you're not going to get a situation where, you get the four, and then after that, it's just a bunch of garbage.
Mm-hmm. And I think the best scenario is do the 8 team on there, but the top 4 teams host the first round.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. So that way, if you have 2 Midwest teams out there that are hosting it, let somebody come up north in the end of December.
Right.
So I think
you have an advantage, sure.
So I think we'll see about that on there. Boston's beating us now.
Yeah, Boston has stretched it out. Every time they tried to, Milwaukee would claw back in it. But, the fourth quarter has not been so much that way. They did get an easy basket right there, but that's been hard to come by. They're down by 14 on the NBA tip-off there on the good old Tay stations. We'll watch it with us if you want. Mary, Mike, Louie, Jason, Jay, and D. I appreciate all you guys for kicking it with us. A lot getting in on the show. Next week is our end of the year. So we're going to go on rants. We're going on good and bad. We're going to talk about everything that's gone on throughout the year of sports in what will be the craziest year of sports in my lifetime, your lifetime, and anybody who's listening to this' lifetime, I'd have to say. Is that a safe bet?
Yep.
So we're going to get into it and sit down and be ready. Moose, I'm trying to think of how we're going to do this exactly. Wednesday night. No, yeah. We'll probably go, sure, that'll work. We'll do it because we're taking off for the New Year's and hiding up in the woods and the mountains and the little cabin away from. No, but we're gonna hide away for a little while.
Yeah, get away. There.
But we will definitely do that show and just be ready. Just it's gonna be a cigar What you're drinking? I got some vodka here, so I'm good.
I'm a bourbon guy.
You're gonna bring your okay. I don't have any bourbon here, so
I'll bring some bourbon.
Bring some bourbon. I got to check and see if I got any cigars, but I got vodka. So it's gonna be that kind of show, guys. I don't know if you're new to this deal. We used to do that all the time. We would do it for our Midsummer Spectacular. We would do it for the end of year and all that. And this year, I think everybody needs a stiff drink and a fucking cigar. So I'm warning you guys now for next week. Get your shit together. Get your drink, your beverage, get your cigar, get yourself ready, and just sit back and just be ready for nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
It will be absolute nonsense. It won't be a normal show. We're not going to be like breaking down. Of course, we'll get our pick'ems in, and they'll be goofy even then, because I will pick things for all the goofy reasons, and it's silly. We'll have fun.
Tampa Bay's going back to the orange cream.
Yeah, the year end show is super silly, so just come hang out with us for the year end show next week. Tell your friends to come hang out. It will be just different. The show's already goofy and silly, but we will take all of the actual sensible stuff, and we'll get rid of that, and we will just crank up the silliness. So be sure to come in as we review what 2020 and preview a little bit of 2021 and what we're looking forward to. So it'll be interesting. So just next week, same bat time, same bat channel, unless we do something crazy, and I'll let you know if we do via social media. But I think we're good.
We're good to go. So yeah, we got the NHL, and as we go, their Canada Mike there.
Oh yes.
The North, which is Canada division. Again, I understand they got to keep on there, but for travel purposes, it's bullshit.
It is.
Because Toronto's, say Montreal is going to have to go to Vancouver several times now. So literally, they're flying 3,000 miles there and back several times this year. This is, I agree with it. It's a bullshit.
Yes.
It is. It's so, it's cool for us because the first we got to go is go down to Tampa Bay or Miami.
Sure. No, but that's what I was talking about, Moose. Like, how can you pull this thing off when you're like split between two countries that are not doing the same thing?
They're not allowing you into it.
Yeah, and it's just it's just one of those.
Maybe this will be the year that Toronto actually wins.
You're an evil son of a bitch. You are one evil son of a bitch.
There is a chance that maybe a Canadian team, but it's not Toronto. Maybe this will be the year that actually Edmonton does it all with it. I would actually say Montreal, Edmonton, and Vancouver got better shots than Toronto because they're Toronto and they're going to be one and done. But if you talk to anybody from Toronto on there, they've won every Stanley Cup since 1966.
Oh, right, yeah. So Canada Mike will be with us next week per usual, which we love having him. And he says he'll have his drinks, so he'll be ready. He's like, hell, I've been drunk for 5 days. So
I think so
he's ready. He's
Central,
geared
they
up.
could have done it a little better on that. They could have probably went from like north and south versus east, central and east. And for travel purpose, apple and oranges.
Dude, it's gonna be a different year. It's gonna be weird. And then what do you do? Then what? Well, you're gonna have 2 Stanley Cups. I mean, at some point in time,
well, you're gonna have to. What are you gonna do? Take 3 weeks off, and so they can maintain the. Basically quarantine themselves before they go play in Canada for the playoffs?
Well, you can probably quarantine for a couple weeks. So even if you do that, and it take 2 weeks off before the playoffs and then bring everybody into a bubble. I mean, I guess that's a theoretical. But so none of the U.S. teams are going to play any of the Canadian teams until playoff time?
Yeah.
And then when playoff time comes, how do they decide who's eligible for the playoffs? If you didn't play, if none of the Canadian teams played any of the U.S. teams and vice versa, how can you decide who really is?
Just go by within the record.
So within the record of who they've
because we only play the Central.
Right.
That's it. We don't play the East or the West. It's
us
playing each other all season long. And again, even if you look at the Central, it's kind of bullshit too because the East is all they do is stay in the Northeast and that's it. Whereas we've got to go to Carolina, Florida, Tampa, Nashville, Dallas. I mean, what kind of bullshit's that? Whereas again, Boston has to go down to Washington. Fucking really? Yeah, you got like an hour and a half flight.
Well,
that's kind of
Washington D.C. or Washington State.
D.C.
Yeah.
Buffalo have to go to Jersey. I mean, you can get on the frickin' I-90. You know, I mean.
But you're gonna have that
The West
because
too
of what
has
you're
gotta
trying
get
to
screwed,
do.
too, because they got Vegas. I mean, it's
Sure.
St. Louis has got to go to Vegas, out to Anaheim, and so forth. With
Well,
it.
it's just more spread out geographically
Right.
because of the way
I
the
thought the north-south thing would have been better than frickin' east-west and figure that out.
yeah. But the
Usually
problem
I-
is the problem is if you're doing a north-south and you got to be and you're a northwest team and you have to play a southwest fucking.
that's only in the playoffs.
You know, it becomes even more of an issue. So, I don't know. I think you're there's no way around that. You're not going to
it's
fix
still
that.
bullshit.
But you're right. It is. It's a well, the whole scenario is bullshit because you can't. You're no matter what you do, it's not. You know, I don't know. You're separating these two countries and trying to separate these teams essentially into their own two leagues, their individual leagues, until they finally can meet each other in a bubble, neutral bubble. Like I don't know. Like it to me, it seems like a concept that they haven't thought all the way through yet because they're just kind of hoping. Once again, they're on the tightrope without a net, like we talked about earlier, and in the intro and the whip around that they're gonna. And they don't have the goddamn safety net underneath them. If those vaccines don't come through or that stuff doesn't pan out where people are taking them and it's working or whatever, then it's all I don't know. Bring back the Avco Cup. Sorry, I gotta get in and get some of these here. Canada Mike's gonna be all over the hockey shit. You know that's right.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm with you on that. I think the matchups on there in the schedule kind of fucked over everything.
Yeah, well, no, it sucks.
I mean, after you made good
no
rounds
doubt.
with the double bubble last year.
The double bubble.
You became Batman again.
Yes, I feel like yes. He came back to earth. His one moment of brilliance has
Don't
been
you
used
understand
up.
who you are? You're Gary Bettman.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you cannot. Your one moment of brilliance is now over.
I have to screw over the NHL.
Jeez.
The ghost of Stern called up and said, "What the fuck are you doing?" Oh, you're right. Couple of new coaches there. Auburn hired Boise State's Harsin to replace Malzahn. University of Louisiana Monroe hired Terry Bowden to take over the Warhawks. So,
Dude, this is crazy. Okay, so Canada Mike likes to send us stuff. And here's how the 56 games break down for the Maple Leafs. By opponent for the Leafs. Breakdown by opponent for the Leafs. 10 games against Montreal. 13 and 2. Oh, January 13th and two game series. So it's going to be 10 games and two game series. 10 games against Winnipeg, including 2 3-game series and 1 2-game series. 9 games against Ottawa. It's going to be like baseball. You're going to be just playing over and over and over again. 9 games against Vancouver. 3 3-game series, including a 3-game series and 3 2-game series, so 2 back-to-backers, 3 of them. 9 games against Calgary, 9 games against Edmonton with all these crazy 3-game series and 3 2-game series kind of setups. That's how they're doing it. That's what they're doing. That is nuts, dude. So they got the one opener, and then they'll have 2 3 games. What a mess. I mean, I guess I give them credit for trying to be creative and trying to, get them where they're back kind of looking and feeling normal. So hopefully that they'll have shots and do what have the vaccine and have things rolling and they can just have their playoffs wherever they fall. But there's no way to me that the international border situation is going to be cleared out by playoffs. Oh, God, no. I just don't see how that is. And so that's where I'm confused by what they're doing.
I know
But
how
Canada
to
Mike,
get it
thank
done.
you for sending that over.
But also,
I appreciate that.
here's a little on there tidbit on there. Jaromir Jagr is going to play his 33rd professional season.
That's insane.
48 years old. He's been playing professional hockey since the age of 15.
That's insane.
He's playing,
Yeah, 'cause he was playing
pro hockey
overseas,
this
yeah.
year in the Czech Republic.
That's crazy. You and Canada Mike need to hang out because we were exchanging conversation the other day, me and he is a wealth of not just whatever information, just useless
We're brothers
trivia.
from another mother.
Oh man, you guys would just be like, you'd be beating each other over the head with this stuff. Like anybody that sat in between you would just, their brain would melt trying to absorb all this stuff that you guys
We'll
have.
be going
and would
off
be sharing
on the
back.
89 Calgary Flames roster there.
Oh my gosh! It's just you guys have all these crazy stats. Well, he's got it too. You know, like you, everybody just thinks that you're a sports like statistic monster, but no, movies, music, pop culture, all that shit. Canada Mike's the same way. He loves history too, like you do. It's just you guys would go. You would break your thumbs if you were texting and messaging back and forth like me and him were the other day. Because I'm into it, but you guys have way more now to say. I'm dumb. I can't hold anything in my brain. I'm stupid. My brain's like real small. It's like a shot glass. And so when you pour a gallon of information, all the other shit kind of spills out. So I don't retain a lot of shit. You guys do.
Retain everything.
You guys retain all that shit. And you guys have all those great, stats and tidbits of useless like trivia, and yeah, you guys are, like I said, anybody that sat in between you would just like totally melt down.
You know, so I remember, when Jagr first came out with that glorious mullet of his with
Yes.
with Lemieux and that, I'm like, holy crap, I'm freaking old.
Uh,
Again, oh yeah,
That's
the
a long-
the 89 Flames. Oh, I remember them.
is he the new Gordie Howe? Is he the new Gordie Howe?
Yeah,
Like as far as
longevity,
as far as like, is he gonna play in 4 decades or whatever the hell it is? Well, how many was it? 4 or 5? Yeah, how many decades was it for Howe that he laced it up as a professional? Right? Was it 4 or 5 decades?
He was coming up with the Wings at 46 or 48, I think, and he played with the Whalers in 1980.
All right.
4 decades.
Yeah, but he laced him up for another team at the end of his
Well,
decade.
he did that for a stint when he was in his
Sure.
on there with the
So that he technically played in how many different decades?
in the 90s. There he played with the
So, yeah,
late
so
90s. He played with the up there in Auburn Hills.
So it's
the,
yeah, with the Vipers or
the
whatever.
Vipers.
Yeah, so technically he played in 5
decades.
decades. Is that what he's Jager's doing?
And again,
He's got the 4.
but Jagr, I don't think he can get into fights like Howe did on it.
No, I'm not going there.
You look on it when it's all said and done. I mean, yeah, who would have thought Jagr? And even
I would have,
his last couple years
Right.
with the NHL, he was productive.
He was
could still score.
Right, like he wasn't horrible.
He
no,
wasn't
I'm with
that,
you.
he wasn't that blazing speed up and down.
Well,
under, but
I
he
mean,
was,
dude, hockey's a rough sport. Just to be on skates for that many years.
I mean,
just
that
think
under
about
as long
that.
As he has on there, he was more of a sniper at the end, but the dude could still play hockey at a high level.
Yeah, obviously.
In his late 40s.
Right.
I mean, again, it's a freak of nature because you look at him now and go, Jesus Christ, man.
Oh shit! Milwaukee's back in this thing. They're only down by 4.
You
watch it
him
with
on
his
the head
basketball.
or something on there where they showed him with like on a certain way. Oh my God! It was like watching like testosterone laden Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
he was
right.
just absolutely ripped, and you going, holy shit!
Yeah.
I look at myself and go, what the fuck, man? On that. So yeah, we got that as well on there. So yeah.
Look at this. Milwaukee's cut into Boston's lead. It's a 2-point game with 5.5 to go. 109-111. They cut that 14-point lead down to 2 points. And Boston moving the ball around, got a jump shot in there to stretch it to 4, but yeah, all of a sudden we got a game there if you guys are watching the NBA. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you.
Lakers got their ring last night.
Yeah,
the most expensive ring in NBA history.
During COVID.
You know what was a highlight of the weekend, and I just caught the highlights because I was busy there. Was watching the hot golf there with Tiger with his kid. Charlie.
That was neat.
And that kid, man, I'm like, and it just makes me feel read the press because I'm like going, the freaking kid's swing. It's perfect.
Uh-huh. He looks
Like,
so... He's,
and he's just like, boom. I mean, and he's trash talking. Like, he's little nose like trash talking. I'm
yeah,
like,
he's a mirror image of his daddy,
Oh, yeah.
man. That is the way his swing and just the way he kind of... He does. He plays it like his daddy.
They played great. I mean, they played a great tandem.
I don't
together.
think he'll ever be as good as his daddy was when his daddy was at his peak, but that's like asking a lot for anybody on Earth.
If he's a third as good, he's a really good player.
He's going to be a great. Yeah, he's going to be a really good
Best
player.
in the
Yep.
world then. But yeah, it was like fun to watch with it because you saw the two of them were having a blast.
Yeah.
They were
That's
playing out of their
it
minds,
was
and
nice.
you could just see it's like, I mean, a kid gets a freaking eagle. I'm like, come on.
Uh,
I mean, 170 yards, hook it right around the trees. Big.
Yeah.
I'm sitting with a 4-yarder for an eagle. Oh, blow me.
Yeah, the kid is good, man.
I want to have my dad play.
Yeah.
Come bring my kid. My kid's gonna kick your dad's ass.
Yeah, exactly. Tie game. 4 minutes to go in this game. And, tie game. Milwaukee's got the ball. Don't call it a comeback. Oh, man.
So, yeah, we're getting some craziness out there. Again, the signings again. Luke Kennard, 4 years, $64 million deal by the Clippers. What the hell?
And we're going to get into more of that as the season, because the season's kicking off now.
James Harden gets in the COVID protocol because he goes to a strip club without a mask.
Dude, you go to a strip club with a mask, you should be in COVID protocol.
If you didn't catch anything, you know your immune system's good.
Yeah, I was about to say, you should probably be in some kind of protocol no matter what time, anytime you go to the strip club afterwards. That should be part of their protocol just in general. Like, you need to now take a herpes test and
Somebody posted on there for the Christmas meme, the kids from Christmas Story, and the one kid licking the pole, he's licking a stripper pole. And they're like, gross. He said, well, at least we know what his immune system's going to really be.
Yeah.
If he don't catch anything, nothing's going to kill him. He's Keith Richards.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yep, celebrate to Keith Richards, 77 years old. Doesn't look like a year under 900.
Yeah, a year under 900.
So, yeah, got their big ring to Kobe in front of his arena with no fans, and with that. So we'll see what happens there. And, of course, they proceed to lose to the Clippers. But, again, it's just regular season. So, and again, how they're going to get this in a full year on their I don't see it happening.
Well, it's one of those things I don't really either. If we're going to call our preseason prediction, I think they're going to be canceling, moving, and shuffling a lot of games, and it's just going to be kind of a goofy, ugly look. And at some point in time, they're going to have to create a bubble situation unless they are going to pay to jump the line and get vaccinations going, or unless they really ramp up and it gets over there. Quickly. I mean, I guess there's potential in that, but I'm with you, Moose. I just don't really see it. But we've got I know it's not a long season, but we've got all season to kind of break that down because I'm sure that'll be a thing. But now it's about breaking down this final couple weeks of the season. Are you ready to get these NFL picks in?
Yes, I am.
It is pick'em time, my friends.
All right, here we are with our pick'ems. Last week we didn't do too bad out there. I finished with 11-5, and Scrappy went 10-6. The only two that really screwed us was, actually three: Pittsburgh, New England, and the Rams. So there we go. Okay, so we got actually 4 straight days of NFL action. Christmas Day, yes, we on here. This 26th Boxing Day, and we got Sunday and Monday. So
Boxing Day, like Mike Tyson boxing?
No, it's an old English holiday.
I thought I was watching. Well, just come over and watch the Fight Network, and we'll have boxing day instead. All right, sorry.
All right, so Friday, Christmas Day, 4:30 in the afternoon. The Saints are at home. They're facing the Minnesota Vikings there. Saints are a 7.5-point favorite. Drew Brees is slated to start on this one. Vikings got nothing to play for. Saints are still trying to make sure they get their keep the number 1 seed, maybe. Or actually, no, I think they're down to the Packers, but at least win the division outright. Try to win this one on there. On this one, Saints defense has been playing better on there, and the Vikings have just been. mean, they're Kirk Cousins. I got the Saints winning this one.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think they're going to run the ball on there effectively, and I think Drew Brees will be okay in the passing department because Vikings can't really put any pressure on anybody.
I was about to say, I don't think the Vikings get the pressure necessary to, to really disrupt Breeze, and they're going to be run heavy, quick pass, all that kind of stuff anyway, with the way they run their offense. And Minnesota hasn't proven me anything, and the Saints have something they're still playing for. So, in my opinion, so yeah, I'm going to take the Saints too.
All right, we got the first game on Saturday here in Detroit. The Lions are at home. They're facing Tampa Bay. Early start there. They are a 10-point dog at home. Rightfully so. Stafford's probably not going to play in this game. Galladay probably won't play in this game. I see that 10 points. Again, they can't stop Tampa Bay.
No,
even if Ronald Jones doesn't play, Fournette he'll be a huge pickup on that and run the ball, and they can't stop him.
Yeah, Lions can't stop anybody. They are who we thought they were and what they've always been for the entire existence of my mundane fucking life. No, they've been terrible. They're not. I mean, and Tom Brady, he wants to take the opportunities he can to put something on it. I think it could be worse than that. I mean, it could be worse than that.
Yeah, I'd give the 10 points all day.
Yeah, I just...
Especially with Chase McDaniels.
Sure.
Chase Daniels
sure. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Gosh, what a nightmare. So, yeah, the Bucs all day and twice on Sunday.
All right, we got the 4:30 game. Arizona's at home. They're 5.5-point favorite against San Francisco. San Francisco's beaten up. They lost on a tough one against Dallas on there. They're beat up on there all the way around on this one. They're on there like fourth-string running back, their third-string quarterback on that one. Arizona coming off a nice win against Philly there. I think Arizona is going to win this one pretty handily.
I'm with you. The Niners are just a hot mess right now, really. And, you got a little bit of talent over there in Carolina, in Arizona. So
yeah.
You should be winning some of these games. I mean, I don't know what to say. All
right, so we got the late game on Saturday at 8:15 in Vegas. Vegas is a 3-point dog at home against Miami. Miami's basically fighting for their playoffs to try to move up the ladder there and everything with it. Vegas can't stop anybody defensive-wise on there. Miami can on this one. I like the Dolphins winning this one.
I do too. I mean, I have not been impressed by what the Raiders have done at all this year, to be honest with you. They've had a couple bright and shiny moments, but the progress of the Miami Dolphins is without question and very evident, and it will be on display this week. Like I said, when we get to the point where they're playing higher competition, you're expecting more, then we'll reevaluate the Tua thing for me because I still think he's a little careless with the ball. But right now, these cats don't know how to handle him, and either do the Raiders. I'm going to take Miami.
All right, early game on Sunday. We got quite a few 1 o'clock games. 1 o'clock, Jacksonville at home. They're a 7.5-point dog to Chicago on this one. Not that I think Chicago's all that great, but Jacksonville's doing whatever they can to lose these games on there. They're probably not going to dress the punter. I don't think they're dressing James Robinson. Give me the Bears.
Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, I'm with you, man. Like, I'm all over it. It's not so much about what the Bears are going to do as much as what Jacksonville ain't. And they ain't going to be trying to win that game. So
all right.
I'll take Chicago in that one, too.
So we got another early game there. This one, the Jets are at home. JT is Jets. Coming off a huge win, a.k.a. blowing the first seed pick overall to the Rams. They got Cleveland. They're a 10-point dog at home. Cleveland is playing a lot better ball lately on there. They've been actually playing really good lately on there, even in the loss to Baltimore one. Yeah, Cleveland's going to smoke these sons of bitches.
I mean, the Jets are so bad. We talked about it earlier. They're so bad they can't even.
Cleveland's trying to win that division.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say they can't even lose right. So there's no way they're going to beat a Cleveland team that's been on the run like they have. There's no way.
All right, we got another 1 o'clock game. Houston is at home. They're an 8-point favorite against Cincinnati. Cincinnati looked pretty nice there on Monday, but I think that's more than how bad the Steelers are playing on there.
Sure.
I don't think they're going on the road to beat Houston on there. Cincinnati's terrible.
They are
really
bad.
Are a terrible team on there.
I'm with you.
And again, Deshaun Watson is better than Ryan Finley, so give me Houston.
Yeah, same boat with you. I think that whole thing is more of a Pittsburgh melting down than a Cincy being playing well all of a sudden kind of scenario. I don't expect them to overtake Houston at all. So yeah, I'm in the same boat. Houston picks up a cheapie against the Bungles.
So we got another 1 o'clock game. Kansas City's at home. They're 10.5-point favorite against Atlanta. KC with the win locks up the #1 seed in the AFC on there. Yeah.
Yes.
Atlanta on the road where it's going to be really freaking cold.
Yeah.
Ain't happen. Give me KC.
Yeah, absolutely.
Atlanta can't stop Tampa. There's no way they're going to stop KC.
Atlanta's not even going to have a chance to blow a lead. They're just going to get
They're
blown
never
out.
gonna have the lead.
Nah, they're going to get blown out of the gates right away. Even with KC's tendency to play down, not going to happen. KC all day.
All right, another 1 o'clock game. Pittsburgh is at home. They're a 2-point dog to Indy on this one. Pittsburgh's losing 3 in a row. They've got to right the ship somehow on this one. Are they going to lose 4 in a row? I gotta say no. I gotta say Pittsburgh's gonna have to win. They're gonna win this one.
I think Tomlin.
I think they're gonna win this one. With Roethlisberger just throwing the ball.
Yeah, I was just say Tomlin's gonna have to come up with some kind of game plan to kind of change what they're doing. They cannot continue on this slide. They could easily lose this game. We talked about it earlier. They could easily lose out, but I don't see it, Moose. I'm kind of with you. I have maybe it's blind faith that we have because of the way Tomlin's handling that. Milwaukee's taking a lead in that game, by the way. 1-point lead with 40 seconds to go. I'm with you. I'm taking the Steelers in that game.
All right, so we got another 1 o'clock
Which is
game.
hard to do with the way they've been playing, but go ahead.
Baltimore is at home. They're 10.5-point favorite against the Giants on there. Baltimore seems to have rightened the ship a little bit on there. They're letting Lamar play like Lamar.
And you've got to.
You got to just let him go and do what he's got to do.
Yeah.
With it. And again, Giants are terrible. I mean, it's probably going to be Colt McCoy again on there. Yeah. Here you Baltimore.
Well, and Baltimore wants some positioning here. They're fighting for playoff positioning, and I think they want to rack up some wins and get some good feels kind of going.
And Des Bryant's going to catch another touchdown.
Yes, probably. So, and the G-men, I'm sorry, I'm not on the. You could put Davy Jones back in his locker because I'm over it. I'm not sold on what the Giants are doing. Though I do think they have a decent coach over there, more so than I thought originally. But it ain't going to make the difference this week. Baltimore.
All right, we got another game here. This one's going to be a kind of a weird one out there. Washington's at home. They're a 2-point favorite against Carolina. I'm not sure if Haskins is going to be starting or is it going to be Smith on there. Carolina's looking pretty bad on there. I don't think McCaffrey's going to play. I think they're just shelving him for the year on there. Washington's playing for the division on there. The defense is still playing pretty good on that.
Sure. It's a tough one, dude.
It's a tough one. I'm going to say Washington. I don't know if they're going to cover. I think they'll pull out the win because I think the defense is really that good. Chase Young, you can see the flashes there. He is a physical freak.
I think with the attrition on the over there in Carolina and the injury issues there, I think the emotion that Washington's been playing with as of late, I think all those are going to be on full display and very obvious this weekend. I'm with you, Moose. I was leaning towards Carolina, but with all the injury problems and inconsistency issues, I'm looking towards something else for victory, and because both these teams have those issues. But the one thing that the Washington team has been carrying is just this chip and this passion and this kind of grinded out thing, and I think that's what they'll do. They'll use that to grind out a victory here this week.
Washington scored with 0.4 seconds left.
And it is a 122-120 game with 0.4 of a second. Milwaukee's got the ball with a timeout, correct? I believe Boston just made the basket that put them up by 2. I think they were down by 1. He hit a fadeaway 3.
Rainbow 3.
He didn't call glass either, so don't start putting your hand up, motherfucker. He didn't call glass on that, but that was a dope shot. And so he got the 3 that put him up by 2. But that was dumb luck. That was supposed to be a doinker off the heel, and he just catches the glass. Watch the shot. Oh, they didn't show it. But anyway, puts him up by 2, so you got 0.4 of a second. So you took the timeout, you can catch and shoot. So that's what we got here to tie or take the lead at catch and shoot. That quick scenario in the fourth quarter of the NBA tip-off. That's one hell of a way to start your season on a Wednesday here for DSR2. So we both went with Washington, though, right?
Yep.
As we
So
make
got
our
a
picks.
Again, that was the 4 o'clock game. We got a 4:20. We got 3 4:25 games. We got the Chargers at home against Denver. They're a 3-point favorite on there. Denver's showing a little moxie on there, but they got blown out last week on there. I like what the Chargers did, man. That was a great win for them on there. I think Herbert keeps it going there, and they end up beating Denver.
I'm sorry, Denver, the only good players they have are all gone. The quarterback situation sucks, and we had the conversation about Herbert and what the Chargers are doing. I'm digging it. I'm with you. We're not getting off the. I know that we're picking the same ones here. We got to get off somewhere, but I'm with you again, Moose. I'm with you again, Moose.
All right, the team basically these two teams think Philly barely has any life whatsoever under. Dallas still has a shot at this division. They're at home. They're 2.5-point dog to Philly. I got Dallas winning this one. Philly has nothing to play for.
I know Philly has nothing to play for, but I'm going to tell you something. Hurts does. He's playing for a job. Regardless of what you think, that dude is playing for a job. And in Dallas, they don't have nothing to play for. They're not even playing for their fucking coach. So here we finally got one that's different, my man. I'm taking the Eagles in this game. I just whatever with Dallas, but I like the Hurts angle and the fact that dude is playing for a job. Whether it's on this team, another team, wherever he ends up, whatever, that dude's playing for his life right now, and that's going to be the difference. Literally.
There we go. All right, so we got another 4:25 game in Seattle. The Seahawks are at home. They're 1.5-point favorite against the Rams. Seattle's, they won last week, but they have not looked good in a month plus on there.
I know.
The Rams were looking pretty good until last week on that one. And again, I believe with McVay basically, it's on me. I didn't get them right on there. I think the Rams basically they're going to go on that defense-wise on there because Seattle has no offensive line. They can't run the ball with it. And again, I think it's going to be like the last time on there where the Rams defense just got to Russell and got to beat him up.
Sure. Yeah, I'm kind of with you right now too. They have not given Russ the support I think that he kind of needs, that he was getting early on. I'm not sure what the issue is with that. As far as getting him any kind of protection at all. But it just feels like something's off about that team, and it's not necessarily the whole let Russ cook thing like we were talked about earlier this year. It just feels totally different. So once again, I'm with you here. I'm going to take the Rams. Okay, here's our shot. They went for the tip in, and there's a foul. The clock ran down to zeros. You're going to get 2 free throws, and there's probably going to be, a tenth or 2/10 or whatever on the clock because it was basically a shot.
I hope they're going to review.
Almost. Yeah, they're going to have to review it to make sure it wasn't like a offensive goaltending because you got to throw it as a pass. And it looked like he shot it from out of bounds almost. And they were trying to tip it, so I'm not sure. We don't have the audio on, so I'm not sure what's going on here. But, man, look at that. Did it hit the rim and no one touched it? Did anybody touch it?
They're calling him on holding on the upside there.
I wondered if anybody even touched the ball.
He did.
Okay.
They're calling him on the foul there on the jump up.
So
That was a pretty weak one, too, to call.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that in that situation if that's what they're looking at. I thought they were looking at if someone actually touched the ball or if it came off the rim. It looks like it dipped in the rim hole. Did anybody touch it? You can't throw it in the hoop. See what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to tell if he actually touched it.
Or they kind of come for goaltending because it's on the down.
Right, because is he hitting it on the way down? When he did touch it, was it goaltending? Right. So there's a lot going on there in that shot. Oh, they put 0.4 of a second back on the clock, and they called the foul. You're right. They put 0.4 on the second. They called the foul before the ball got there, probably. Right? That's how they're going to call it. Yeah, yep. That's why it's 0.4 back on the clock. Which means if he makes these two and ties it, and Boston calls timeout, they still. Oh, they're out. Oh, they gotta get it all the way down court in 0.4 of a second. So you'd have to throw it pretty deep off the inbounds and then catch and shoot.
All right, so again, we're
Anyway.
running a little long because we had some fun with the basketball here.
Right.
On it.
So
Sunday night, 8:20 game. Actually, a good game to watch on there. About damn time on there. Green Bay is at home. They're a 3.5-point favorite against Tennessee. I know it's going to be cold. I know it's going to be blustery. But if there's one team to go to Green Bay and basically play and win this game, it's Tennessee.
Sure.
They're going to give a steady dose of Derrick Henry against that Packer defense on there. And that Packer defense has been suspect all season long. And trust me, you don't want to be hit by Derrick Henry when it's like 15-degree wind chill.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on all those things. My problem has been the consistency with Tennessee a little bit when they're moving around and being on the road, up in a cold environment. I'm gonna take Ron. I'm gonna take the Packers in this game, but I don't feel good about it. I think it will be a close game and really potential to be game of the week. If you like Smash Mouth, good old wintertime football, you might well have a good game here for sure. So, but I'm gonna take Green Bay, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not overly confident. So it is a final. He missed one free throw. And he must, and that was it. That was it. Got knocked out of free throws.
Hit the first one, missed the second.
Yep, one.
Choke, baby.
Yep, that's a choke job by the guy you just gave a multi-bazillion-dollar contract to. Didn't even get a supermax. I thought he got a supermax.
Yep.
And then he just super pooped the bed.
All right, so Monday night we got on there. New England is at home. They're 7-point dog to Buffalo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me Buffalo. I mean,
It's amazing that how horrible New England has been this year. It's just a total mess. And we've seen Bills Mafia is known for a while, but we talked about it last year that they were on the come up, and this we expect.
They still have an outside shot at the best runner.
Yeah. Yep. So
I like
this is an easy pick.
Yes. Way the Bills are playing on this one. Give me Buffalo.
Yep.
So there's our pick'ems there. On it. And again, next week we'll be back here for our end of the year show. A little crazy. We will do the pick'ems like we always do.
Sure.
We're gonna have a little bit more fun with it on that. And that'll wrap up the regular season in the NFL. And we get to the playoffs here. And again, everybody, you got the holiday coming up here. You got Christmas on there. If you're not getting the whole family together and everything with it, just have some fun.
Yep.
Share some laughs with the ones you do have.
Sure.
It's been a shitty year.
It's been a rough year for everybody, and we're going to try to make fun of it and be laughy and all that stuff next week. But this week, I'm going to tell you, life is short as hell, and this year has proven that like no other. It's been rough on everybody, and that's what I kind of try to think about as much as I've been through my own thing this year. I try to really just look at the fact that everybody's been through it, and things can definitely be worse. And like I said, I think 2020 has proved that. So to your point, Moose, if you are hanging out with your family, be smart, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that, we can keep everybody around. We're this close to getting vaccines and getting things kind of turned around here, Moose. And I just want everybody to have some positive stuff to talk about, right? And do what we do here in this house. Think about like small victories, any way you can get a win, right? Like this year, my day job, our company down 30%. They told us long ago with COVID we weren't getting bonuses, i.e. our profit sharing. And guess what happened? We got bonuses. So that's a win.
Yeah.
Same with my fiance. Same thing with her job. They weren't giving out raises. They weren't doing the evaluations. She got a raise, got some money. My daughter is graduating, get her degree, and she just landed a really good gig right out of college. So those are all wins, right? Moosey with his, feeling better with the COVID, got kind of past that stuff. We've seen positive things around. So just, guys, take whatever you can, take the positives, get a win where you can get it, be smart, and enjoy your loved ones. But like I said, be safe most of all. And we say it each and every week, man. We love you guys to the moon and back or whatever, but it's all about being good to yourselves and each other. We'll see you next week. We'll be ready to party. I hope you are.
Peace out. Merry Christmas.
Peace. Merry Christmas.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.